show is a classic example of how we sometimes take the way we live for granted. When we see people go to and from work, we forget how, as individuals, they must come together as a whole to enrich their communities and, by extension, their country. The Dolor Factor is known for its ability to engage viewers. We entertain, educate and inform because we discuss topics that affect society, from how our childhood affects our adulthood to making sex fun and how to manage our finances. We choose our topics very carefully so that we attract all audiences. Above all, we highlight the interesting people in the community who make things happen. We also interview high-profile personalities. On today's show, we highlight the people at Ladera Resort in St. Lucia. We follow how its staff not only are part of the property, but as individuals, and how working at Ladera contributes to their lifestyle and their community. We look at how their work enhances St. Lucia's tourist industry and how working at Ladera helps their community survive. We also tell you about a national arm of an international charity that aims to reduce poverty in St. Lucia, and we'll bring you entertainment with Caribbean vibes.
As an entertainer, I have seen many wonderful places around the world, but my favorite is Ladera Resort. Ladera is my favorite place to be, but the reasons why are difficult to put into words. Ladera itself is a mystical place that stimulates unforgettable memories in a setting that awakens your passion for nature and evokes romance. This is a place for rest and relaxation, recreation, and even recreation. I usually go to Ladera for a brief escape from the everyday, but I always leave revitalized and inspired. If you ever imagine what it is like in heaven, I believe you will get a glimpse of it at Ladera Resort. Ladera. There is nowhere else quite like it.
Hello, Olivier.
Delia, welcome to Ladera.
Thank you so much. I have been looking forward to this day for a very, very long time because, of course, Ladera has always been very pivotal in Dolor Factor and also in the community. And so I'm really looking forward to today because we'll be talking to your executive chef, Chef Nigel Mitchell. Yep. I'm going to have some fun with him in the kitchens, and also Eustace.
Amazing, huh?
He's
33 years at Ladera.
I know, and he's going to show us some of the wonderful woodwork that he does. So I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Super.
Olivier, what differentiates Ladera from any other resort in the Caribbean?
It is all about the authenticity, Delia. When you stay at Ladera, you know you are in the Caribbean. The Caribbean like it used to be 50 years ago. You know that you could not be in a hotel anywhere else like Miami or Mexico. You're definitely in St. Lucia at Ladera.
Okay, so what would make Ladera so unique? I do know that there is all this news about your open air concept. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, well, Ladera is a pioneer of the open air concept, meaning the rooms have 3 walls. The 4th wall is missing.
Wow.
And it's not because we didn't have any money to finish construction, by the way. The concept was created in 1970 by a Canadian architect, John DePaul, and became well known worldwide. Today it's being copied by many, but the original is Ladera here in St. Lucia. Okay,
now we said original, and I know that when we talk about Ladera, we talk about, you know, being authentic. Lots of things are authentic about Ladera. But what makes Ladera so unique?
Well, the location, of course. This is the only hotel facing the Pitons, overseeing the Pitons, in between the Pitons, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But also the team here. 150 employees, all St. Lucian except me. Okay. And it's very, very authentic.
And how important is service? Because we know a lot about the travel and leisure industry, that service is the big thing. Service and food, the big things at the moment. So what is Ladera's philosophy when it comes to service?
Well, first of all, people are first for us. So we hire the best people, we train them, we retain them. Training has a big part to do with service. We also want to be consistent. We have very low turnover. So when you come back to Ladera on your anniversary, let's say, you'll be recognized by the employees because they've been here on average 15 to 20 years. So the service is very personalized. We greet you by name, we recognize you, and we know what you like, what you don't like. We're very precise about that.
I must say I really enjoyed the butler service. I was very privileged to try it out. That is a very special thing. Can you just tell our viewers what the butler service really is?
Well, we just implemented the butler service about a year ago when we opened Paradise Reach, which is our new development here at Ladera. Basically, the butler takes charge of your experience from A to Z. So from the moment you arrive to after you depart, they will be your sole contact. So you want to make a reservation for dinner, you want a spa treatment in your suite, you want to do tours, anything you want. Packing, unpacking, Nespresso in your room.
Wow.
It doesn't matter, the butler will take care of it. So it's a one-stop shopping basically. You don't have to call, like most hotels have a phone with extensions where you have different choices depending who you want to call. With a butler you call one person. And whatever it is you want, that person will get it for you.
Now, a lot of people don't always understand what the role of the general manager is, especially when it comes to food and beverage. We all know the executive chef is in charge of his or her kitchen.
Right.
But what is your role when it comes to food and beverage, and why is that so important?
Well, the general manager is the conductor of the orchestra. So the general manager makes sure that the overall picture, the overall experience works. It's like a puzzle, you have to put all the pieces together, right? In terms of food and beverage, I'm very involved because my background is actually director of food and beverage with Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts for 10 years. So I love food and beverage, I have a passion for food and beverage, and therefore it's important to me to work together with Chef Nigel and bring standards that you would normally not find in the Caribbean sometimes to Ladera.
But how difficult is that? I'm going to ask you a little kind of puzzling question here, because a lot of people, when they come from an international country and they have to come into the Caribbean, things are different. That's just the way it is. In the Caribbean, we are a little bit more laid back, happy-go-lucky. I think it's because of the sun, so it makes us happy. We don't have to think about the doom and gloom of the cold weather. But when we come here, how do we transfer all those international service skills and put them in a climate where everyone is very much close together, very much a family, very much a team? How difficult is that for you? Is it difficult?
There's not as much as you would think, actually. The most important part is to work together with people. Once you work well with people, they will tend to excel, right? So you show them a few principles of service, how to position a check for the guest, and you explain why we are going to, for example, have the pen on top of the check cover. And that is because when the guest has signed the check, you would know the pen has moved.
I never knew that.
Right?
Oh, wow.
So you train them that way, and they understand that, and actually they find it very rewarding to learn. Everybody wants to grow. But in principle, Ladera is about being authentic, being local, being true St. Lucian. So you want people to be themselves. We don't want them to become robotic. We don't want them to, the guests to feel like if they were in a chain, hotel chain, too standardized, I
don't think they can do that here being in Ladera. It's so beautiful.
So you want them to, you want their true personality to come out and still have an efficient service.
Okay, great, lovely. Now, I cannot have an interview with you without asking you about having massages. I mean, when you come to a beautiful place like this, how would you take advantage of having a lovely massage?
You see Ladera being located between the pitons with a view of the UNESCO World Heritage Site, open air. You want to stay in your suite. Remember, it's all couples, honeymooners, right?
But people
So-
sometimes are kind of, maybe they may feel, people will see me, someone will see me.
Nobody can see you. Those are very secluded suites and pools. You're 1,200 feet above seawater.
Wow, okay.
Nobody can see you.
Okay.
You're on top of a ridge, basically.
Okay, good. So you can have it, you can have your massage
You have your
in your suite.
We come to you in your suite instead of you getting dressed, going to a dark spa, to the locker room, undress, go to a dark room, leave, dress again, and walk again. We come to you, you stay in your room, you can go naked in your pool after the massage, that's not a problem. We leave you alone.
And you just
It's
leave
very
us sleeping.
private.
If we want to
Or
sleep,
you can be
we
sleeping,
sleep
of
or
course.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why I mentioned being naked, but yeah, that happens too.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Olivier, thank you so much for inviting us here, and I'm so looking forward to seeing so much more at Ladera. So make sure you stay with us. When we come back, I'm going to take you to Eustace. He knows everything about all the wood furnishings that you see here at Ladera. So see you soon.